going to some pretty extremes and very strong language to recapture their youth. Vince Vaughn, Will Ferrell and Luke Wilson take it back to the old school now here on BBC One, slightly later than Build.
We apologise for the interruption in this broadcast. We will return to our normal programming as soon as possible. Please stand by for an emergency broadcast. We apologise for the interruption in this broadcast. We will return to our normal programming as soon as possible. Please stand by for an emergency broadcast. This is a national emergency transmitted by the BBC at the request of the Prime Minister Theresa May. This is not a drill. North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un has attacked his wife and others using high-powered weaponry. He raped his wife's corpse and has left the scene. The North Korean army have attempted to remove him from office with lethal force, but his most devoted inner circle with advanced weaponry beyond our technology have annihilated the army nearby. He has threatened to launch nuclear weaponry. Precautions have now been made to defend this country. Gather precautions to last 14 days, and build an inner refuge using furniture in the most central part of your home. Get a battery-powered radio and tune it to 531 kHz on the AM band, and stay tuned for further updates.
This is an alert transmitted at the request of the United States Department of Defense. North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un has officially been declared insane by British and American doctors. He has ordered the launch of nuclear warheads. The trajectories are being calculated. His personal army are en route to Pyongyang. Some forces have been ordered to cross the borders into China and South Korea. They are en route to Seoul and Beijing. Nuclear warheads heading to the United States are expected to strike metropolitan areas with a high population. These nuclear warheads are expected to strike in 35 minutes. Seek shelter immediately. Attempt to find provisions to last 14 days. Do not leave your shelter. Locate the central part of your home, away from doors and windows. Build an inner refuge and stay there. Retrieve a battery-powered radio, and keep it with you at all times. Updates will be broadcast through these radios. The nuclear missiles will be shot down. Do not go outside.
We apologize for the interruption in this broadcast. We will return to our normal programming as soon as possible. Please stand by for an emergency broadcast. We apologize for the interruption in this broadcast. We will return to our normal programming as soon as possible. Please stand by for an emergency broadcast. This is alert transmitted by the BBC at the request of the Prime Minister, Theresa May. Nuclear warheads have been launched by Kim Jong-un. The warheads are expected to strike all major cities in Britain and Northern Ireland within the next 15 minutes. These trajectories have been calculated and are inbound to London, Edinburgh, Belfast, Birmingham, Leeds, Sheffield, Manchester, Liverpool, Bristol, Wolverhampton and Newcastle. All tube-bound railways services will terminate at the next stop and from then on cease. All airports will be closed for military use, and all flights inbound to the British mainland will be diverted elsewhere. All flights within British airspace will be halted elsewhere. All airports are being evacuated. All seaports are also being evacuated and no ships will leave or dock there, unless there are for military personnel. All major roads have been closed for military use. Do not attempt to cross these closures, as it will be met with lethal action against you. No, not use phone or telephone line to make phone or SMS calls. Your providers are currently using them to broadcast emergency information. Turn on internet or cellular data to receive emergency information on your device. On a battery-powered radio, tune to 531 kHz on the AM band for emergency information. The Prime Minister and the royal family are currently taking refuge in a secure location. Seek shelter underground if a power outage of your home and are too far to reach it in the next few minutes. If you are in a vehicle, pull over now and walk to a safe location. Fallout shelters are now opening across the country. They will not provide provisions for you, so bring your own. Do not run to these locations. Walk briskly. Tube stations will open as emergency shelters. If you are at your home or any secure building, gather food and provisions to last at least 14 days. Bring a battery-powered radio to the most central part of the building with no doors, windows or ventilation systems. Build an inner refuge using furniture or any other nearby items. Do not leave this refuge until the all-clear is given. Once the nuclear warhead has hit the UK, do not use the lavatory, heating, air conditioning, electricity or water. These will damage you, and the water and ventilation systems may contaminate your surroundings with fallout. Fallout is the residue left by nuclear weaponry. Fallout is deadly. Fallout is invisible and your other senses cannot detect it. Exposure to fallout will result in radiation sickness followed by death. Turn of ventilation systems. This broadcast may cease once the nuclear warheads strike. If you are in the zones where the nuclear warheads will strike, evacuate within a 10-kilometer radius. Failure to do this will result in immediate death once the nuclear warhead strikes. Being in close proximity to a nuclear warhead has a 100% death rate. Prepare now for the three main effects of a nuclear warhead: heat, light and sound. The heat may cause fires in your home, and put these out immediately. The light may blind you temporarily, or potentially permanently. The sound may cause a ringing in your ears and may result in extreme pain. Seek shelter, now. Seek a place of safety, now. Tune to 531 kHz on the AM band for further updates. Nuclear warheads expected to strike within the next 10 minutes. Stay tuned for further updates. Prepare now for nuclear explosions. Prepare for heat, light and blast. It is too late to leave your area. Some shelter is better than none. If you are within the 10-kilometer blast radius, and are able to leave within the next minute, do so now and enter an underground tunnel or other safe area, as the emergency shelters have been ordered to close doors. If you are within the blast zone and cannot leave in the next minute, it is advised you gather all loved ones or do any activity that comforts you and prepare for your life to end. Seek shelter now. Seek a place of safety now. Prepare for nuclear explosions. This is a national emergency. Nuclear strikes are taking place. Nuclear strike.